guys! So today we want to do something kind of interesting, like Battle of the Albums. If you couldn't tell by the title, we're going to focus on Soundgarden. Soundgarden is one of the biggest pillars of 90s music that Alternative Nation covers, and we unfortunately lost Chris Cornell this past May. We're approaching a year now. You know, it was a tragic loss, not to only rock and roll, but to music in general. He was one of the greatest voices to have ever lived, one of the most prolific songwriters. Actually, in the first 2 weeks after his passing, his music sales increased 2,400%, which is an exponentially high amount. For the sake of this video, we're going to be focusing on Soundgarden's top 2 most successful albums. We're talking numbers. Statistically, the Recording Industry Association of America certified SUPERUNKNOWN 5 times platinum and Badmotorfinger 2 times platinum. That would make those 2 albums, out of the 6 that they've put out, the most successful. We had Ultra Mega OK, Louder Than Love, Badmotorfinger, SUPERUNKNOWN, Down on the Upside, King Animal. Stylistically talking about the albums, SUPERUNKNOWN came out in 1994. It was basically known as Soundgarden's breakthrough album. It scored them all of the huge hits. It made them more of a mainstream band, which at the time a lot of 90s artists claimed that they didn't want to seem that they were in the mainstream. Obviously the money was great for them. You had Black Hole Sun, which everybody seems to think is the only Soundgarden song they can cover after his passing. You also had Spoon Man, 4th of July, and a ton of the great hits were on SUPERUNKNOWN. SUPERUNKNOWN had that more standard structure for songwriting with the verse, chorus, and then either solo or a bridge and then a final chorus. Most of the songs were that way. That is more of the standard rock and roll song structure. That is what started to make their songs more commercialized, and what brought them more into the mainstream is because pop music likes to focus on that organized standard song structure. When you're talking about Badmotorfinger, which came out in 1991, Badmotorfinger channels more of Soundgarden's grungier side. It's kind of a combination of their older albums and SUPERUNKNOWN. There were a couple songs like Slaves and Bulldozers and Searching with My Good Eye Closed that have that verse-chorus structure, whereas songs like Jesus Christ Pose and Drawing Flies really are just kind of all over the place, and there's really no set structure, there's no set verse, no set chorus. There would just be a phrase or two that would kind of be like the repeated part throughout the song. The riffs on Badmotorfinger are a lot angrier. I think he did a lot more distorted screaming. The beats are faster, the drumming is just pounding. Both albums as well had great openers. Badmotorfinger opens with Rusty Cage, which is one of Soundgarden's most famous songs, covered by Johnny Cash, which is a huge compliment because it is an entirely different style of music in general. And SUPERUNKNOWN opens with Let Me Drown, which also I think is a great song. Now for album artwork, I think that Badmotorfinger, that swirly, circly icon symbol in the middle is kind of one of their most famous symbols, and it represents them. I liked how they put the album name within that image. SUPERUNKNOWN I think is an awesome album cover. It almost reminds me of Down on the Upside in the sense with like the blurred figures. I like how you can tell that it's the band, but they don't really show their faces. So it's kind of like them saying, hey, this is the band, but we don't want you focusing on us. We want you focusing on the sounds we're making. I think that SUPERUNKNOWN wins in the album work category. Personally, I think that SUPERUNKNOWN is more of a beginning Soundgarden fan's favorite album. I know that my first Soundgarden album was actually Telephantasm, which is more or less a greatest hits album. From there I got SUPERUNKNOWN because that was recommended to me. And I think as I started to become more of a grunge fan, more of a Soundgarden fan, more of a Chris Cornell fan in general, I began to appreciate Badmotorfinger more. It's a lot angrier. I think the style of Badmotorfinger is a lot more creative because, like I said, there's like that diverse song structure within it. There's nothing really that commercial about any of the songs. It channels a lot more of their early styles than the later ones. There's just a lot more of a raw sound to them and a lot more energy. And with that, Slaves and Bulldozers is also unfortunately the last song that Chris Cornell ever performed while he was alive. That adds a bit of an eerie element to the song, but in an emotional kind of way, especially for the big Chris Cornell fan. Contrary to belief, he did not perform In My Time of Dying within Slaves and Bulldozers for the first time the night that he passed. They had actually done that in the past before. For the conspiracy theorists out there who want to say that that was his message to the world that he was going to be departing. I can't say for sure, nobody can except for him, and unfortunately we can't ask him, so we'll never really know the significance of that, but he did perform it before. So with that, I want to know what you guys think. We want to know what your favorite of the two albums are, and if your favorite Soundgarden album isn't either of those, let us know which one it is and why. Love feedback. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Rest in peace, Chris. We miss you. We're going to keep honoring your music. Bye guys, thanks for watching.